Hi there, fight fans. My name is Kian Lang, and I'm very happy to say that I'm today joined by the man himself, Mr. Corey Fry, as we approach his fight week. Of course, OKTAGON 79 in Brno this Saturday. First things first, Corey, thank you again for joining me. How are we doing today, brother?
Yeah, not too good, mate. Other than the weight cutting, I'm feeling good.
I mean, how has camp been for you overall? I'm sure you know the hardest bit of the work's done. It's just the weight cut now. How was that
Yeah,
process for you?
yeah. The camp's gone good for this one. Obviously, I had the injury for the fight that I was originally meant to have with Marco Novak. That I've had to work around, but we're here. We managed to get towards the finish line and hopefully do the job on Saturday.
And what does this week look like for you? You know, obviously the weight cut, reloading, and everything. I know it's a difficult time.
Yeah, it's the water load and stuff like that. I'm not too bad with the food and that. I'm not a massive eater anyway, but it's the water. Like, we're drinking some days we're drinking 7 liters of water, and it's horrible. You're constantly walking around freezing cold. I'm a shell of a man at the minute, so yeah, it's just the water really.
I wanted to ask as well about one man in particular, Mike Grundy, for you. I mean, in my opinion, he's probably one of the more underrated coaches in the game, especially in the UK right now. And I know he has a big impact on you as well. Can you talk a bit about Mike and the impact he does have for you?
Yeah, definitely. So we started working with Mike from about January time. Started going down for the extra rounds. Obviously, they've got Kalen down there. They've got Jack Grundy, who's an absolute machine. They've got Raf. They've got Danny Bart, who's class. So yeah, started going down there just to get a little different look as well of the teammates, but as well from the coaching. Because obviously, I've never really had an out and out striking coach in my career, even though majority of my wins are from knockout. I've never really had a striking coach, so going down there and working with John Gillis as well, has been a real eye opener. And I've took loads of little details from him that I'm looking to implement on Saturday. But I think that mix now between Aaron Abbey, Steve Nightingale, Mike Grundy, and John Gillis is the perfect mix for me. I'm getting four different points of view, but they all work very very similar to each other. So I'm not getting anyone contradicting anyone. But yeah, they're really and Mike's been at the top of the game, and John Gillis has worked with people at the top of the game. So it's really good to be around that type of positivity and people who've been where I want to be. So yeah, it's been really really good.
That's mental to think you've never had a striking coach, man. That's like hard to believe, bro. That's insane. And obviously, I mean, speaking of the strike in this Saturday, to me, it just feels like it's going to be one of the more violent wars that we could see in Octagon. I mean, this is just like fight of the night written all over it. We see yourself and Radek Rousal. How do you look ahead to this matchup with Radek this Saturday?
So obviously I fought his teammate Langal, and in my opinion, I think Langal's better than Rochelle, but I think Rochelle's a little bit cleaner, where like Langal's a little bit harder to fight because he's so reckless. Do you know what I mean? He comes out all guns blazing. But I think stylistically, Rochelle is probably a better matchup for me. I think I'm better than him in every area, and I just think that I'm the cleaner striker. I think I'm more strategic than he is. I think he just goes in at the same gear all the way through and just tries to like catch you with the lucky shot, which I feel Langal caught me with. But if you look at the fight with Langal and what you're going to see on Saturday, you're going to see I'm just going to pick him apart and I'm going to be strategic about it. I'm not just going to be going in having a swinging match with him. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel the only chance he's got against me is having a swinging contest. So yeah, I'm just going to make my wrongs right. Sorry, from the last fight. And show him that it was literally a lucky shot you caught me with. I was dominating that fight, and I'm going to dominate this one.
There's no doubt about that. And, you know, another part of this fight this Saturday, obviously, is it's taking place in his backyard. And it feels like to me you're the exact type of person that would want that to go in and fight someone in their backyard and beat them there. I mean, how much do you look forward to that crowd and getting to soak that atmosphere?
Yeah, there's something about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've based all my amateur career and the early stage of my pro career where I was comfortable on UKFC, building my name up from literally my first amateur fight up to my last pro fight, before signing to Octagon. And I know what it's like to be comfortable, so I wanted to take myself out of that comfort zone and put myself, in a different task, a different environment, and have to adapt to it, which I adapted really well to in Germany. But I even said to me, I was in a group chat the other day with the boys, and I just said, it's literally crazy. I'm literally getting three of my best mates. We're gonna fly to wherever it is, Brno in Czech Republic, wherever it is. I'm gonna batter this guy, and I'm gonna come home. And it's quite surreal when you think of it like that. And that's one thing I've had to do this last 12 months is take a little bit of a step back from it, because it literally went skyrocketed. I've gone from fighting in a small working man's club to fighting in a 25,000 seat arena, getting to fight of the night and stuff like that. So it's all gone up, and then there's a little bit down, and there's a lot to take in, but there's no feeling like it. I'm literally going with my little brother, who I've trained with since I was like 16, and I'm going with one of my best mates, Jordan Chester, and I'm my head coach and one of my very, very good friends, Steve. So there's no feeling like it. It's class, living the dream.
It's insane when you put it like that, man. I mean, it is living the dream, no doubt. And you
Yeah.
mentioned that the last 12 months, obviously a couple tough losses. Like you say, I completely agree with the Lengo fight was, one shot happens and one shot happens, but you look great in that fight before that. But what has these past 12 months been like for you, taking the time off and reflecting and sort of recuperating yourself now?
To be honest, it's done me the world of good. At the time, I didn't feel like I needed it. Do you know what I mean? I was a little bit, in denial about it. Like, I was before the Langau fight, I was struggling with a lot of confidence issues, and I was just like getting in my own head over the slightest thing, and I was in a very, very negative mindset, well, I don't even think it was anything to do with Max Holzer loss, because I knew how good Max was, and he's arguably one of the best guys in Europe at the minute. It wasn't really so much that. I just think I just didn't know how to handle the it skyrocketing as quick as it did, and I didn't really quite get hold of it. Do you know what I mean? It was just like I was very up and down with my emotions. One minute I'm buzzing, then I picked up the loss, so I was down. I got offered Ultimate Fighter. I ended up doing an interview for Ultimate Fighter, which went really well. Then picked up a loss against Holzer, so it was just like my emotions were all over the gaff. I started working with a sports psychologist, and just learning to deal with these certain thoughts that I'm having in these scenarios I'm putting in my own head. And but now I feel the best I've ever felt. I'm literally training to the best of my ability, and like being smart about training as well. Like my approach to training has changed this 12 months, where like over 12, well, for almost my career except for the last 12 months, it's all been about going as hard as you can, sparring as hard as you can. I'm practically having 15 fights before I have a fight. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm fighting every single week, and like yeah, I have to take that out my training, and really, really like adapt and grow up a little bit in my approach to it, and be appreciative to where I am in my career. Brian Lacey said it to me after my last loss. He said, "I know it doesn't feel like it now." He said, "But you are literally living someone else's dream." He said there's thousands and thousands and thousands of fighters in England that would kill to be in the position I'm in. So I just had to take a little step back and appreciate where I am at. And I went to the fight still that was meant to fight in Bratislava to watch and Marco Novak, just to get that appreciation again for the show, and just have a look around and soak it all in. So I'm looking forward to putting all my work into action on Saturday, and enjoying the process.
And do you think that's going to be a big part of it as well? Just, being able to take in all those moments, those little things leading up to it. And on the Saturday, warming up, walking out and just really soaking in that atmosphere and, knowing that you belong there because you absolutely do, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just like at first it was. I think I got given three of the potentially hardest fights you could possibly get in my division. Do you know what I mean? And one of the fights that I won, one was a close fight, and then the third fight I was dominating and got caught. So when I took a step back and actually looked at it from the outside point of view, instead of just being like thinking with my own emotion, because obviously I'm emotionally tied up in 10 fights. I have to live with them losses and stuff. So, I have to take that step back and think, do you know what? I've actually showed a good account of myself. I've got caught with a shot that anyone can get caught with. So this time I'm just going to go in and enjoy the process, and realize and remember to myself why I did it in the first place. I never did it to, become famous. I never did it to like, I didn't even want like a legacy to being like the best fighter in the world. All I wanted to do was have enough money to provide for my kids and my missus. And if it means me going to Czech Republic and I'm going to fight with someone in the back garden, I'll do that if it means putting money in my family's pocket. So it is what it is. I'm just going to take it in and enjoy the process with my team, especially my little brother.
That's incredible to hear, man. And what does it mean to you as well to be able to, be one of few guys now in Octagon that are representing England and representing the UK? I mean, it's incredible for people like me back home to see you guys go out there and represent on a European stage like that.
Yeah, mate. Like when they told me about this, they sent me a new contract and they signed me on a multi-fight contract. I was like a little bit gobsmacked because, like I said, because I had the two losses, I thought, that's it. I've blown my chance a little bit. But obviously, they clearly like what they see. I think I I'm quite professional in the way I hold myself. I don't go in like, I think there's going to be a difference between me and Rochelle. Like, I hold myself quite well and professional, where he's a bit of a gobshite and he's going to try to get me first. So, but yeah, I love the fact that I can represent the country, especially over there, and again, hopefully do a good account of myself on Saturday and make everyone proud.
Yeah, I can't wait for it, man. Again, thank you so much for your time today. I've just got one more question for you. I
Yeah,
mean, do you have a final prediction for how you think this one ends and how you think this one goes?
I'll finish him. I'll definitely finish him. I'm not going to say how. Do you know what? I can finish him in every area. I could beat him on points. I think I can outskill him. I think I can sub him, and I could knock him out. So it just depends how I feel on the night. It depends how much he gets in my face on the weigh-ins as well. Because he gets really in my face, I'm going to break something.
I feel like he's going to try and do that,
Oh,
man.
he's going to
So
try. He'll regret
I
it.
look forward to it, bro. Thank you so much for your time today, Corey. I can't wait to see you fight this Saturday and see you walk out there with a win as well. So thank you very much, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, and thank you for having me on.